Hello everyone, my name is Peyton Blanco, and I am here to analyze Scène de Moi, or The Rebirth of Madeleine Elster, from Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 film noir mystery romance Vertigo. Alfred Hitchcock is my favorite director of all time, and Vertigo is my favorite film, so choosing this specific work to advocate for in a public-facing manner was an easy decision. I chose Scène de Moi because it best encapsulates the key messages of the film and serves as the emotional climax to the film's main characters. It's also a beautiful scene with many hidden symbols throughout its visual proponents and score by Bernard Herrmann. So without further ado, let's get started. The scene starts with our protagonist, Scotty Ferguson, anxiously waiting for Judy Barton, his current love interest, to return. It's her San Francisco apartment complex that he waits at. To this point in the film, he's attempted to transform Judy into his former lover, Madeleine Elster, a woman who he was assigned by his former colleague Gavin, her husband, to spy on and subsequently fell in love with. However, what Scotty doesn't know is that Madeleine was Judy, a paid actress the entire time, and that Gavin was using Scotty to cover up the murder of the real Madeleine Elster, coming up with the elaborate story of the ghost of urban legend Carletta Valdez and her eventual suicide. Scotty is overcome with guilt and loss over Madeleine and allows this internal pain to carry over into his relationship with Judy, unknowing of her hidden secret. He's changed her appearance, clothes, and now hair to fit the image of Madeleine's ghost. Now, he stands at the entrance of Judy's room, waiting uneasy and paranoid.
Well?
It should be back from your face and pinned at the neck. I told her that. I told you that.
We tried it. It just didn't seem to suit me.
Please, Judy.
I've previously made the comparison between Judy, Madeleine, and a ghost. In her first appearance in this scene, we watch how she emerges from the shadows like a ghost here. This will not be the last time we see this type of imagery. Now, consider the role Madeleine has played in the story to this point. It's only the perception of her that Scotty falls in love with, but even then, it was Judy, not Madeleine, who fell in love with Scotty. To us, like the ghost of Carletta Valdez, Madeleine Elster has been dead the entire time, replaced by a ghost that haunts both Scotty and Judy. Similar to Scotty, Judy feels tremendous guilt from the past. She refuses to tell the truth to Scotty, but also allows him to change her, stripping her from her own humanity. She wants to be loved, but fears not being enough. When Judy looks into the mirror, she looks at herself the same way Scotty looks at her, with emptiness and dejection. However, when she looks at Scotty, the fear returns, and she allows the control to take over. At this point in the scene is where all dialogue goes away, and Bernard Herrmann's classic score takes over. Scène de Moi, the name of the score in which the scene is famously named after, showcases the inner turmoil and paranoia plaguing Scotty. There's an unsettling back and forth that reigns throughout, creating an atmosphere that rejects the comfort of love and instead invites us to obsess over what's to come. As Scotty anxiously waits, the spirals infiltrate our minds and tear us down to our most vulnerable form. I let the majority of that hauntingly beautiful sequence play out, but I want to go back to the original reemergence of Madeline. When she first appears, she remains behind a blurry, faded barrier, as if quite literally a ghost taking a physical form for the first time. As she moves closer to Scotty, her shadow looms large over the background, slowly leaving her as she gets closer to Scotty. As she fully emerges toward him, the shadow is gone, symbolizing her full rebirth into Scotty's life. Even in her face, the longing gaze of Madeline Elster absorbs the screen, and Judy ceases to no longer exist. Throughout this scene, there's been a recurring use of the color green in the background. Green appears throughout the film. It serves as a motif of deception, a lie that both Scotty and Judy partake in for their own personal longing of love. Scotty longs for the woman that he thought to bring the best characteristics out of him, while Judy yearns for acceptance for who she is. Each of them seem to know, in some capacity, that what they feel is just a dream. However, neither can break away from their own obsession. For just a brief moment, Scotty wakes up from this dream, finding himself in the place where Madeline last embraced him before her death. The green is gone, and Scotty realizes that this feeling of love is not legitimate. However, he allows himself to return to this world of deception, and the green behind the drapes reappear. Thank you all for listening to my scene breakdown from Vertigo. Again, this is one of, if not, my favorite film of all time, and I really enjoyed the opportunity to do an in-depth analysis on such a powerful scene.